Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program Midday Discuss on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining on today's edition of the program. Today, we'll be looking at the embattled Nigerian senator, the person of Senator Natasha Uduaghan, who was suspended, and lots of controversies have been going on within his suspension. And also we had conversations of her saying that the Senate President Godswill Akpabio have sexually made advances, alleged that Senator Godswill Akpabio has sexually made advances towards her, and the scandal, goes on and on. But recently, just yesterday, following the presumed judgment by the Abuja Federal High Court ordering the embattled Senator Natasha Uduaghan to access the National Assembly, the senator had made frenetic efforts to gain entrance into the premises. Our correspondent Tomsi Gimba reports that Senator Natasha Uduaghan was seen marching with her loyalists to the National Assembly complex, pushing her to resume preliminary after 6 months suspension by the Senate of misconduct and abuse of order to sit rules. Our correspondent has this completes the report.
Senator Natasha Uduaghan, who was suspended on the March 6, 2025, has been making emphatic effort to regain her recall to the Senate using the recent Abuja Federal High Court judgment allegedly ruled to her favor. Arising from the court judgment, the chairperson of the Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Yemi Adaramadu, signed a new statement and made it available to newsmen, saying that the Senate is not aware of any court judgment, advising the Senate to allow Natasha Uduaghan to resume plenary today. Meanwhile, security personnel of both the police and National Assembly Sergeant-at-Arms had taken over the entrance of the National Assembly to ensure she was blocked. Security to the main entrance of the National Assembly complex blocked Natasha Uduaghan from accessing the complex. Senator Natasha Uduaghan is seen with some human rights activists like Aisha Yusuf addressing journalists at the entrance of the National Assembly of the possible next step to take. As at the time of writing this report, plenary was going on, chaired by the Deputy Senate President, Senator Jibrin Barau, contrary to the embattled Senator Natasha Uduaghan's earlier wish. Topsy Gemba reporting for Global Television News.
Many thanks, Mr. Gimba, for that report. So that we've seen, and we saw conversations where the embattled senator was saying that all of this is being, she alleged that the appeal that was made by the Senate wasn't actually made by the Senate, but made by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. We'll be having this conversation with an elder statesman in the person of Dr. Bartholomew Abocheno, who will be helping us throw more light, and we'll look at the lots of angles, looking at the constitutional stance of this matter. And based on what the Federal High Court have stated here in Abuja, they gave her the permission to head back to the National Assembly. And we'll be looking at what grounds did the Senate made this appeal on, and if it's actually constitutional. Joining me on today's edition of Midday Discuss is Dr. Bartholomew Abocheno, the elder statesman. Good afternoon, Doctor.
You're welcome.
Yes.
I'm happy for you having me.
Yes. And I'm also glad you are here. So, Doctor, let's get right into the elephant in the room, talking about Senator Natasha. She has been suspended for the past 6 months. The Senate said it's based on misconduct and abuse of order to the Senate rules. That is what the Senate are saying on those grounds. That's what they suspended her for. But she, on the other hand, has some other things to say in line with the fact that the Senate President, she alleged that the Senate President was sexually making advances towards her. So, looking at it now, based on what the Federal High Court have said, do you think that the Senate is upholding the rule of law by going against the Federal High Court in Abuja and not allowing the sitting senator to go in and represent her people?
It is quite unfortunate what the situation in Nigeria is. Senate per se like Adara Modu, the chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, said that the court did not order them to reinstate her, but rather what the court said was an advice. Now the question is this: the advice that the court gave, was it a wrong advice? Was it a wrong advice? Can't the Senate take advice? Let's even leave it at an advice level. Let's take it that it was an advice. The advice that the court gave, was it a bad advice? And if it was not a bad advice, but a good advice, why not take it? If you are really patriotic, if you are really an assembly of the Nigerian representation, if you are really out to defend the rule of law, the advice that the court gave, was it a wrong advice? Take this woman back and shave off squabbles and leave the country further. Because suspending this woman for 6 months is excessive. That word excessive is there. And you know that the word excessive means is too much. Even if the Senate, even if the court did not give you order, when you say it's too much, and if it is too much, he's saying reduce it. The woman has spent 4 months. If you recall her now, is it bad? You call yourself the Nigerian representatives. Is it bad? And the judge equally said, our constituents are suffering. They are edged out of what is happening in the country. It's not good. Even if the court did not give you order to reinstate her, you know, you understand English, you heard the court very well. He said that her constituents are kept out of the show happening in the whole Nigeria. It's not good. You call yourself a mature person. You call yourself somebody who has intellectual capacity. Can't you interpret what the court has said? The court eventually said, bring her constituents in to her representation. That was what the court said, and it was clear. It was clear. Even if the court did not give you order for reinstatement, even if it was an advice, don't you know that it was a good advice? And you went ahead in defiance. What are you showing Nigeria? That you want a squabble with a lady that you can bet. You can give birth to this lady biologically, and you are getting into a squabble with her. Today, Natasha with Senate. Tomorrow, Natasha with Senate. Next tomorrow, Natasha with Senate. And you call that place a hallowed chamber. It's a shame to you people that are leaders in that red chamber with this saga, it is a shame. It is a shame. Now, you went ahead and you said that the court didn't give you order
Yes.
to reinstate her. We know very well. With what is happening in Nigeria, we know very well that even if the court pronounces it clear and distinct that you should restore her, you will not restore her. Because you have made up your mind to do what you want to do. This is not the first time those in government are defaulting. Court order. Court gives order. You refuse to keep the order. You are the ones killing Nigeria. You are the ones setting Nigerians backward. And Nigeria, we have the executive, we have the legislature, and we have the judiciary. The legislature and the judiciary, they are there for formality's sake. It is what the executive wants to do that she does. And it may not be far-fetched from the knowledge of the executive what is playing out, because Natasha is in a different party. If Natasha were to be in APC, I bet you what is happening may not happen. It may not happen. Those of you that are leaders in this country, help us. Help us. Nigeria is rotting because of you, not because of we, the common men. Nigeria is rotting because of you. God has blessed us with everything we need, but you wouldn't allow us to enjoy what God has blessed us with. What has God done badly to you? What has God done badly to you? You kept the courts there for formality's sake. You don't obey what the court says. How will democracy be strengthened?
You know, talking about democracy, Doctor, let's look at it from the state government level. How well would you say, so far we've not heard statements or major statements backing Natasha coming from Kogi State government. How well would you say Usman Ododo has reacted to the suspension of Senator Natasha Uduaghan?
Usman Ododo an independent entity? He's not an independent entity now. Was it not Usman Ododo when Natasha wanted to visit his people? He went and gave a rash rule that there should be no procession. Because he knew very well that if Natasha would visit her hometown state, there will be a lot of procession. There will be crowd. He went and made a law, and Natasha floored him by coming in with a helicopter. And so Ododo is all together with them. He has no voice of his own. Was Ododo the one who brought himself to government? No. He was not the one. And he was listening to those who are behind the curtain. It was Bello that brought him there, and Bello is at loggerheads with Natasha. You can't expect Ododo to have a different opinion. You cannot expect Ododo to champion a different opinion. That is how it is.
So basically now, you think it's political saga that is leading to all of this suspension and not what the Senate have said in in line with misconduct and not agreeing to sit where the senator was provided a seat for.
Now let me tell you, if they are talking about misconduct, is it only Natasha that was found in misconduct? Even the current first lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria was also found in misconduct. She quarreled in Senate. Hello? She quarreled in Senate chamber, and even Akpabio himself during Bukola Saraki, he also quarreled. True or false? He also quarreled. If the upstairs by reason of the seat arrangement was the issue, how about now? It would have been settled since. But the only thing there was that they had made up their minds to persecute this young lady. That was just it. It was not the seat arrangement of Itinu. It was not the seat arrangement of Itinu. If it were the seat arrangement of Itinu, how about now? It would have been over since. And just like I said earlier, if Natasha were to be in APC, this issue will not move forward. It will not move forward. And the APC, the scenario they are trying to play is quite unfortunate. It's a dangerous one. Akpabio that is there, is he clean? Excuse me, is Akpabio himself clean? We have history. We know how he came to Senate. We know his saga in 2015. We know it. We know what he did in his state as governor. We know how the EFCC were to bag him before they say, okay, change your party and all your sins will be forgiven you. We know this. They are there. And it is the same man that is trying to come and find somebody guilty of irresponsibility. I'm a Christian. The Bible I preach tells me, if you say, let me remove the speck from your eye, look at your own eye. There is a log of wood on your eye, covering your eye. Remove that one first. Then you see clearly to remove another person, the speck that is in another person's eye. Is that part of clean? What you did to Akwa, you know that it is that we are not aware. It is that we are not aware. We are very much aware. My appeal to those in authority, let them help this country. They are the ones killing Nigeria. The citizens of Nigeria are very good citizens. Let them help Nigeria. It was this administration that changed our national anthem from Arise, O Compatriots, to Nigeria we hail thee. And in Nigeria we hail thee, there is a line which says, the labors of our heroes past shall not be in vain. The current leaders that we have are trying to make the labors of our heroes past to be in vain. The labor of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, the labor of Chief Obafemi Awolowo, the labor of Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, the labor of Sir Amadu Bello, the labor of Akintola. Name them. These people, they labored for us to have our independence. And these people, from what they are doing now, British rule is by far better than what we are having now. They are sending us back to the British rule. British rule was by far better than what we are having now. And they are trying to void the labors of our heroes' past. But the message I have for them is this: nobody is staying in this world forever. Hello? Nobody is staying in this world forever. About some few days back, the funeral of late Major General Muhammadu Buhari, retired, was carried out. And people were coming to say all the bad things that he did. And some people came and said that he should not say bad of the dead. Why won't we say bad of the dead? It is when the dead die that you begin to say what they have done now. If the dead did something evil while he was alive, you want me to praise him when he dies? The Bible that I read contains stories of people who did badly and people who did finely. So also the Quran. Now, what Akpabio is doing now, when he dies, we are going to write it. Exactly the way he is behaving. His rascality, his dictatorship, his war against Nigeria. He's not defending Nigerian democracy. He's brutalizing it. They have a clique. He's brutalizing it. He's setting Nigeria backward. We used to say Nigeria is the giant of Africa. In what sense? Judged by population. Judged by population. When we talk in terms of military ranking, we are number 4. Egypt, with 110 million is number 1. Algeria, with population of 46 million, is number 2. Algeria has 46 million people.
Yes.
And we have 230 million people. We can't stand Algeria in modern warfare. That is what it means. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? In what sense are you a giant? And South Africa comes third. South Africa has 63 million people. They are over and above Nigeria in modern warfare. The simple reason is that the leaders we have, they are not patriotic. When they get into positions of power, they begin to load their pockets with naira and kobo and forget about their nation. It is quite unfortunate. My message to our leaders is that where they are, they will not continue to be there forever. Once in a minute, before I give you time to talk, they will not be there forever. And one thing with the Nigerian system of behavior, when a particular party comes to the throne, they feel that they are not living there again. But you will live there. If PDP left there, APC must surely live there. APC cannot continue to be in government forever. If PDP left government, or if PDP left governance, APC must definitely leave governance. The question is this: what you are doing now to Nigerians? If another party comes and begins to do the same, will you complain or you will clap hands for them? That is the rhetorical question. Will you clap hands for them, or you begin to say evil things against them? And what amazes me is this APC, by the moment this APC is defeated, in 2027, by the grace of God, they are going to move away from governance because the shit they are doing is too much. Like the way I'm talking now. Instead of them to sit down and begin to think, do you know what they will do? They will just be looking for me. Who is this person that is insulting us? Am I insulting you? I'm not insulting you now. I am saying the truth. I am a Nigerian. It is paining me. When they get out of power in 2027, do you know what they will do? They will try to be defecting to another party. That's why I don't believe in this coalition of 18. I don't believe it because
you think
they are still
have a stand in 2027.
I'm coming. Let's see. Between now and 27, there's still a lot of time. Action drills are there. A lot of things are there to happen. But I see that even this coalition, there are a lot of selfishness inside. A lot of selfishness inside. So among those people agitating for this coalition,
yes.
The person that I may be free to say that maybe I can align with this just will be. Even the rest of them, they were in PDP, they were in APC. That's because the government does not favor them. That is why they are coming in for a coalition. And when they coalesce and they are able to take up government, you will see what they will do. They may begin to behave worse than what we are seeing in governance. There is a pandemic that is hovering upon Nigeria. We need God to deliver us from this. We need God to really deliver us from this. So, Senate, what they are doing to Natasha, it's not that they are pursuing the rule of law, no, because they themselves, they don't keep the rule of law. They are more guilty of what they are accusing Natasha for than what Natasha is. And you, Akpabio, if you mean well for this country, Natasha could be your daughter. Can't you leave this aside and march the country forward? March the country forward now, and the more there is a ring between you, or a ring for you and Natasha, the more you make her popular. The more you make her popular. And let us even say, even if you throw her in the fight, who will clap hands for you? Who will clap hands for you? It's just like a child that is sitting in the dust. You are passing, you are with a white agbada, and the child say, waka. Then you turn to the child and say, okay, why are you telling me waka? Am I your mate? I will tell you that I'm bigger than you. Then you begin to slap the child. Who will come and begin to applaud you? That is what Akpabio is doing. I am very, very much disappointed with his behavior.
Well, let's look at this other angle of this same conversation now, and then we'll be looking at the people of Kogi State that Senator Natasha Akpoti is representing. How well do you think that is this? How would you say this suspension now is affecting the people the people that sent her to the Senate to represent them in the long run, based on the current electoral reform that we are seeing, and also the fact that some other incidents, so it's going on between within that region?
I'll throw back a rhetorical question to you. The question is, those that are in Senate, are they really working? Do you think they are working? A lot are there as toothless bulldogs. They don't talk. From our own area, for instance, the man that is there, is he talking? They are all there as a yes man. Or they are all there as yes men. If any bill will come to the Senate for discussion, for plenary, it has already been concluded in Nassau Rock. When you come up to go against it, you will be doing that at your own peril. So constituency-wise, the absence of Natasha does not have any effect on her constituency per se. It does not. Because whether she's there or she's not there. All the tiers of government, they are there for formality's sake. Pure democracy does not happen in Nigeria. It is what the executive wants to do that she does. And if you would be a clog in their wheels, they deal with you. Ningi, in 2004, was it in 2004 or 2005, pointed out how the budget was padded. What happened to him? He was sent on suspension for 3 months. Before anything comes up in the Senate, I am free to say that it goes through an inner caucus meeting between Tinubu and Senate and the Senate President, Akpabio. Whatever they discuss, that is what is eventually play on the floor of the Senate. That is what they are making us to understand. With the confessions of Akpabio himself, you will see from his body language. So, the legislatures that we have, the lawmakers that we have, they are there for formality's sake. They are not lawmakers, they are lawbreakers. They are lawbreakers. The absence of Natasha does not have any influence on what is happening on the floor of the Senate. Because if they discuss it with Aso Rock and they bring it to the floor of the Senate, anybody who rises against it does it at his or her own peril.
All right, we'll be going on a very, very quick break, and then when we return back, midday discuss continues as we dive into the second conversation of the day. We'll be looking at the armed forces and also police welfareism, as we saw some retired police officers who took the streets in Abuja to protest against poor welfareism since their retirement age. We'll bring you more of these details immediately after this break. Many thanks for staying with us. Now let's get into the other half of the conversation. But before we talk about armed forces and police welfareism based on the protest that we saw that happened in the capital just a couple of days ago, let me quickly get your take, Dr. Bartholomew, on the statement made by Governor Monday Okpebholo of Edo State in line with the 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi of the Labour Party, where he says that Peter Obi needs to inform him before he comes into the state. What do you think on that? Do you see that statement as a threat?
Well, whether it's a threat or it's not a threat, what I get to understand from there are two things. Number one, Monday Okpebholo has shown the whole world that he's an illiterate man. He is illiterate. Even if you want to do something against somebody, you have to be intelligent about it. Hello? You have to be intelligent about it. You saying that before somebody comes to the state, don't call it your state, but call it the state you are overseeing. That is the best word, that is the right word to use it. Don't call it your state. Edo State does not belong to Monday Okpebholo, but is a chief executive officer for the state. Is an overseer over the state. That does not mean that Edo State belongs to him alone. And that is the idea that so many people that are in position of governance, that is what they do. When they step into an office, they decide to convert that office into a private business. That was what Operola was doing, and it's wrong, and it's a show to the whole world that he is an illiterate man. He is an illiterate man. Why will you say something like that? Now, if Obi has a brother that is a resident in Edo and is coming to visit that brother, he said he must come and get clearance from you. If Obi now decides to marry a new wife from Edo and is coming to the in-laws, he should come and get clearance from you. Obi is a businessman. He has a business transaction that demands him traveling to Edo. He should come and get a clearance from you. What thinking do you have? Or are you turning Edo State into another country that one needs to get a visa before he travels? Yeah, getting clearance from you, is synonymous with getting a visa.
What's your reaction to the FCT minister backing what Monday said?
I'm coming there. Let me finish this.
Yeah.
Let me finish this. So that is what you are trying to say. So if he's intelligent, he should have thought wise in this dimension before coming up to talk. APC government is full of adults. It's full of people who did not go to school. His certificate saga is there. He has come to embarrass the whole Nigerian community that he did not go to school. You don't dare say that. And when reactions started coming from left, right, and center, his people came up and they started saying that the statement was not particular to Obi alone. If it was not particular to Obi alone, why was Obi's name alone mentioned? Why was Obi's name alone mentioned? Then you would ask yourself, before Monday October made this statement, did he consult his advisors? And that again has to go a long way to stress the fact that those in government, all these governors that you see, they are special advisors. They are not the people who know the job. They just keep them there for formality's sake. Their in-laws, their nephews, their friends, who don't even know this. Because as they operate, they don't actually operate on advice. They don't seek advice. They go on doing anything they want to do. If not, if Monday October had shared this with an intelligent advisor, the advisor would have cautioned him, don't say this. But they don't make use of advisors. They appoint them and put them there so that they will be feeding fat from the government treasury. And this goes a long way to stress the kind of government that we are having in APC. As you have said that, he will get away with it too. He will get away with it because penalty rate, Monday October's saga, Hyacinth Alia had done his own in Benue.
Yes.
Hyacinth Alia is a disgrace to the clergy. The cassock he puts on is a disgrace to the clergy. You call yourself a Christian and you come up to the public sphere, to the platform of governance, and you are saying a thing like that. You are saying a thing like that. It is not all people who put on the cassock that will go to heaven. It is not all of them that will go to heaven. There are some of them that will go to hell. And if Alia does not repent from that thing he does, He's not going to heaven. He is not going to heaven. Why dare you say somebody should not come to Benue State until he gets clearance from you? And since nothing happened to Iron Saint earlier, Monday October is coming to see his soon. And it will surprise you that many other APC governors may still do the same. And even Monday October, there are so many things that are quite unconstitutional that he said, like in the public say, he said, okay, the money we are using for campaign is Tinubu that is giving us. The money we are using for this is Tinubu that is giving us. Is it Tinubu that is giving you this money? Also, it becomes very, very clear. It defines your action. It defines the strength behind your action. To be very, very factual, APC government has thrown us into the abyss, and we need God to deliver us from their hands.
Okay, moving on now, let's look at Nigerian armed forces, and then we'll look at police welfareism in view. Looking at those angles now, a group of retired police officers have taken to the streets of Abuja in a peaceful protest to draw attention to poor welfare condition of serving and retired police officers. The protest was led by the convener of the Revolution Now movement, Omoyele Sowore, who joined the retirees to demand urgent intervention from the federal government. Tomsi Gimba was there for Global Television News. Here are the reports.
The group of retired police officers expressed displeasure over what they described as years of neglect, non-payment of pensions, and poor treatment of officers who had served the nation diligently. Sowore, speaking during the protest, called on the government to recognize the sacrifices made by police officers and ensure that their welfare were prioritized.
We are saying enough is enough. It's as simple as that. We are not here to talk to their statement. We are here to talk about the well-being of these police officers, both serving, retired, dead, and their family members who deserve a better condition of service or after service. How could somebody serve this country for 35 years? 35 solid years, and they go home with 2 million naira. Some of them went home with 900,000 naira. Are you going to buy the recharge card with 900,000 naira after 35 years? So even if we don't fight for them, it will be unconscionable on our part to ignore them.
The protesters also warned that if the government failed to respond promptly, they would sustain their action until their demands were met.
I was only given paid from 2004 to 2017, and I was given 2 million naira. I become a nuisance to my family. I
cannot give you the interest. Who is deceiving you in this country? Why do the IG and co exempt themselves from the pension? Why? Because they know it's a bad thing. Why do they want to instigate police to become corrupt? Now it is very clear that the serving police officers now must have to be corrupt.
I need my benefit, my remaining benefit with Pencom. Let them pay me my benefit. My remaining money, let them pay me so that I will continue training my children. I'm a widow. Even my daughter, my last daughter, she's State University. Yesterday I ran to see her. She was crying for her rent, 250,000 I'm paying. So this 2,000, how we start?
Security personnel were on site overseeing the protests to prevent any disruption of public order. Blessings beef up with armed policemen also included the National Assembly entrance to avoid breakdown of law and order. Tomsi Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
Many thanks again, Thompson Gimba, for that report. Very devastating and very disturbing scene there after serving a beloved nation in terms of protecting and preserving the country's peace and security. Being retired and also not getting, dividends and things that you served for is actually something very, very disturbing. And now, questions are being asked. Is this the reason why we tend to see police officers currently serving and those that have retired always asking this question, Oga, waiting day for boys? Is this the main reason these guys always ask this question, because of lack of poor welfare or something else? But now let me get your take on this, Doctor. This is very disturbing. You and as an elder statesman, how would you react to this sit-up, sir?
You know what actually is happening? The government, they believe that, you know, a police officer gets almost everything he needs when he is serving. Their psyche about policemen is that they get everything they need while serving. When you send them on an on-board service to go and accomplish a task, they can do it in a shoddy way. You send them to go and mount roadblocks, they will be collecting 100 naira. Some policemen could even bribe the officers to send them to several locations. So they believe generally that with all those things they get when in service, they have already been paid. That's what they believe. If not, it's not that the government does not know that police are collecting 100 naira on the road. Right now, I'm even telling you, they are collecting it. The government knows. Why won't the government tell them, no, this thing that you are doing is not good. This is not what we sent you to go and do. Why won't the government tell them that the government is quite aware? When they take you to the police station, you have a case, your case is good, you must be ready to spend. If you don't spend, you are a loser. You are a loser. So the police that are there, you that is bringing the case, they don't look at the merit of the case. No matter how good your case is, and you don't dip hands into your pocket to grease the nut, you are at your own risk. So that is the general sake that the government has about police. If not, how can somebody serve in the police force for 35 years and you are coming to give him 1.7 million? It's highly laughable. Is highly laughable. So it's not a surprise to me. The government knows what she's doing. But the earlier we write the wrongs correctly, the better for us. With what is happening, it will give the current serving policemen to be more corrupt. But I want to advise the government, let them take a look at the police officers' welfareism and do the needful. And when they do that, let them also take a swipe of the activities of the current serving policemen so that they'll be neat at their jobs. That is my take on it.
All right, this is actually how much time will permit us to take on today's edition of Midday Discuss. I want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Bartolome Abocheno for taking our time to join us on today's edition of the program, as we looked at Natasha, who was denied access into the National Assembly, and also had conversation around Monday Okpebholo, the governor of Edo State, on his sake, and asking the 2023 presidential candidate for Labour Party to seek his approval before coming into the state, and also on the subject matter around police and armed forces welfareism. So we want to say a very big thank you for taking our time to join us today, Doctor.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, and this is how much time will permit us to take. My name is Samuel Odi. I'll see you again as we discuss further. Bye for now.